Now, this is my fully built Proton Satria that is pushing out more than 337 horsepower and it weighs just under 1,000 kilos. And now it is broken. It doesn't run, and I've stranded 3 times by driving this car this month, and I've spent on the towing to the workshop, and the workshop couldn't figure it out. For those who are new to my channel, this is my 1995 Proton Satria that I bought from Facebook Marketplace. Now, after a month of owning it, the engine actually blew. So I actually spent more than $30,000 rebuilding this thing up. It's got a 4G93 engine with a big ass turbo, and it's pushing out 337 horsepower with just under 1,000 kilos. So now if you want to watch that video, I'll definitely go and check it out. I basically explain the full story. So most people, when they have a built car, they don't drive it every day. They drive it every weekend, or like they would just go out to a cruise once a month. Not me. I drive this car almost every single day. Now, several weeks ago, it was stalled out every once in a while, and I didn't really think that much into it because I thought if there's something really wrong, it would have happened already. And what happened was, I was going home one day, this car just stalled and it just wouldn't start again. It happened in the worst timing. It happened when I'm between country borders from Singapore. It wouldn't start, so I thought, it could be one of 4 things. For an engine to run, you need fuel, you need spark, you need air, and you need compression, right? Obviously, there's air, so now we rule out air. So the first thing I check is the fuel. Now, there's a little fuel pressure gauge under the bonnet, and the fuel pressure is healthy, so obviously there's fuel going into the engine. The next thing is compression. When I'm starting, the rhythm is really nice. Obviously, there's compression. If there's low compression, when you crank the engine, it will sound a little bit off, like there's no rhythm to it, like something's off. So obviously there's compression, and I'm very certain it's going to be spark. Because if there's compression, if there's fuel, why isn't this car starting? And I did a good old spark plug test, and turns out there's no spark. It's an old school setup. It doesn't have the OBD2, the modern diagnostic system that you can just plug a computer in and figure it out what's going on. This car, you have to manually diagnose hand by hand of what's causing this issue. I ruled down to 2 things. It's either the ECU that is not sending spark signals, or it could be just the wiring harness. Then there's a bit of gremlins with the wiring. So what I did was I swapped the ECU with the original ECU that came with this car. Obviously that didn't fix it. I changed it back to the ECU that is tuned for this car, and I figured, is this wiring harness here. Now this wiring harness, it's faulty, right? It's not sending any spark signals to the coil plug setup. Stock, it runs a coil plugs and some ignition leads, and we did a K20 coil plug conversion, and this harness here was actually broken. Now this is brand new. I didn't drive this car for a week just because I was waiting for this harness to arrive. So now this harness actually broke, and it's causing this car to not have spark. It's a pretty shit situation to be in. Stranded 3 times, and I spent 3 times towing it to the workshop, and they just couldn't figure it out. So eventually I figured it out. So the problem was with this ignition harness. So this basically powers the coil plug setup, the K20 coils, and I'm hoping by replacing this, it solves our problem. So let's get right into it. There's a really excited bird that saw this car and got all excited and shat on my freaking car. That is annoying. Pop the bonnet. Now, one cool thing about this car is it has bonnet struts, so so it makes opening the bonnet a little bit easier. I don't really have to use the bonnet latch to open it. And as you can see, it's running K20 coils, and there's a wiring harness that runs all the way to the back. So this thing here, it's causing this car not to have sparks. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, by replacing this harness here, I should be able to get this car running healthily. there's a bit of oil in one of the ignition coils. So yeah, it seems like maybe the O-rings is leaking a little bit. Now, this is the old one, and this is the new one. Now, just before I retighten everything down, I better make sure like everything's working properly. So let's give it a start, and fingers crossed like it works. Okay, let's make sure like it's in neutral. It works! Right, so I've tightened everything together and it's looking pretty sweet. So now how we found out this problem was whenever we move this harness here, it will stop, the engine will stop running. And then when we adjust it again and we start the car and it will start running again. And whenever we just play around with this a little bit, and the whole engine will stop running. So obviously there's something to do with this harness here. So I ordered one from the internet for $50 and yeah, it looks like it solved our problem. Now, we originally thought it's the problem with the ECU. So now this is the original ECU that came with this car. And now when it stopped working again, I tried plugging this in and the car still wouldn't start. So that ruled out. So it's either that or the problem with the ECU. Since the ECU didn't fix it, so it must be this harness here. So that's basically how you diagnose a car like this. And this car is running now. I'm super excited to get this back on the road, and I have some updates coming for this car, so stay tuned. If you like videos like this, definitely check out my other videos as well, and you know, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. And thankfully, you know, I figured it out. It's just a broken wiring harness. Now